People who walk through life with few or no friends are often labeled as lonely, broken, or antisocial. But psychology paints a very different picture. For a surprising number of people, a tiny social circle is not a weakness at all. It is a side effect of rare traits that most of the world doesn't understand. If you've ever looked around and realized you don't really have a group, this story will show you why that might actually say something powerful about who you are. And if you relate to even one of these traits, stay till the end, because there is a kind of strength in walking alone that almost nobody talks about, and that's exactly what this channel, innerSentinel, is here to explore with you. 1. You refuse to wear a mask. Think about most group conversations you've watched from the outside. The jokes that don't land, the forced smiles, the little lies people tell just to fit in. If you're someone with almost no friends, there's a good chance something inside you rejects that entire performance. You can sense when someone is pretending, when their words and their energy don't match. So instead of forcing yourself to laugh at jokes you don't find funny or nodding along to opinions you don't share, you quietly step back. You'd rather sit alone than sit at a table where everyone is pretending. That choice makes you look distant to others, but underneath, it's actually integrity. Your brain has a very low tolerance for emotional pollution. Fake kindness, hidden agendas, gossip dressed up as bonding, none of that feels like connection to you. So your circle stays tiny, not because you can't connect, but because you refuse to bond over something that isn't real. 2. You crave depth, not noise. Imagine two conversations in front of you. In one group, people are talking about the weather, trends, and what they saw on social media. In the other, someone is asking, why do we repeat the same patterns in life? Or, what actually makes a person good? If you are the kind of person who has almost no friends, you are probably magnetically pulled to the second group. And sometimes, that group doesn't even exist around you. You're wired for depth. Small talk drains you because it feels like running in circles. Lots of words, no real movement. This doesn't mean you hate people. It means you want to meet the part of them that is honest, thinking, vulnerable, awake. You want conversations that touch something real. Ideas, fears, dreams, psychology, meaning. And since most social settings reward light, fast, easy talk, your need for depth can leave you standing on the outside. You'd rather have one conversation that changes you than 100 that distract you. That standard is rare, and it naturally filters out most casual friendships. 3. Your mind needs more time to recover. For some people, socializing is like charging a battery. For you, it might feel like draining one. Even when you like the people you're with, your brain might be working on overdrive, scanning tone, reading micro-expressions, sensing tension, analyzing what's being said and what's not. You don't just hang out. You absorb. You notice. You process. That kind of sensitivity is a gift. It makes you intuitive, observant, and emotionally intelligent. But it has a cost. After a while, your internal system needs to reboot. You need silence to file away everything you picked up. So while others move from one social event to the next, you disappear for days or weeks. Not because you're cold, but because your nervous system has a different rhythm. To protect your energy, you choose fewer people, fewer events, fewer bonds. You'd rather show up fully with one person than half present with 20. 4. You are genuinely independent. Most people don't realize how much of their life is built around not being alone. Constant chats, group plans, endless notifications. If that all suddenly vanished, a lot of people would panic. You, on the other hand, have built an inner world that doesn't collapse when it's quiet. You can think for yourself, entertain yourself, and comfort yourself. You don't need someone else in the room to feel like you exist. That inner independence is rare. It means you don't chase friendships just to avoid boredom. You don't say yes just to avoid being left out. You don't reshape your personality just to be accepted. Of course, this can make you seem hard to reach. People might say, you don't need anyone, and use that as an excuse not to try. But the truth is, you value connection. You just don't depend on it to feel whole. That's a different kind of strength, and it scares some people who secretly rely on the crowd. 5. Your trust has a high threshold. Look back at your life. Chances are, there is at least one period where trust went wrong. A friend who betrayed you, a group that turned on you, a family dynamic that taught you love could be withdrawn without warning. Your brain remembers those lessons, even when you don't think about them directly. So now you don't just let people in because they're friendly for a week. You observe. You test. You wait. You watch how they act when you disagree, when you're not useful, when you're not smiling. You are not paranoid. You are careful. You have a higher trust threshold than most. That means fewer people ever cross that line into real closeness. Many get frustrated and leave long before that. What's left might look like no friends from the outside. But on the inside, what you're really doing is protecting a very limited space, your emotional core. You know that once you let someone into that space, you'll be loyal, present, and honest. So you guard the door. That is not a flaw. It is the wisdom of someone who understands how much it costs to heal from the wrong person. What this really says about you. So what does it actually mean if you have few or no friends? It might mean you see through fake behavior faster than most. It might mean you crave deep, honest connection in a world that rewards constant distraction. It might mean your nervous system is sensitive, your mind is independent, and your trust is something people must earn, not something you hand out for free. People like you are often called loners, but that word misses the point. You are not empty. You are selective. You are not broken. You are built differently. If this story felt uncomfortably accurate, if you recognized yourself in these traits, then you're exactly who innerSentinel is for. You are not the only one walking this path, even if it feels like it. Hit that like button so more people who feel friendless can hear this perspective. Subscribe to innerSentinel and turn on the bell, because every week we break down quiet psychological traits that the world ignores, but that secretly shape your entire life. In the next video, you'll discover the hidden habits that make your mind stronger while everyone else is chasing approval. If you've ever felt alone in a crowded world, don't click away. Stay. You might finally realize you were never too much or not enough. Just rare.